alles is het. Oh, you got it! Yes, buddy! That was nice. Oh, I got it with 360. Look at this beast. Zat hij ook gewoon, hallo Frans, ben je aan het filmen Frans? Hallo. And let me tell you something guys about one of the best action cameras I've owned for quite some time. I've owned a lot of GoPros and other cameras, but it's always an issue pointing the GoPro at the right direction to get that perfect shot. Sometimes you miss it because you walk around in the boat, and sometimes you wish you had a camera pointing downwards so you can get the visual take close to the boat. And instead of placing like 3 or 4 different cameras which you all need to power and which you all need to clear the SD cards, there are better solutions out on the market. And one of these solutions is the Insta360 ONE X2. I've been playing around with this camera for quite some time.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Okay. For the record, to avoid any confusion, we bought our first Insta360 ONE X2, and this video is made because we are a big fan of its features and performance. We also got a lot of questions regarding a couple clips we posted on Instagram on what kind of camera we were using to get those unique shots. Now, 360 cameras are not completely new, but the new generation makes working with 360 footage much easier, offering you unprecedented flexibility and easy access to a wide range of different shots. Insta360 however did send us some additional gear and cameras which we will test in the coming months, including the tiny go-to action camera. If you, like us, like what the Insta360 ONE X2 has to offer you, and you really dig the content that we put out on this channel, you might want to consider grabbing a camera from the link down below in the description.
I've been using it for trolling, for casting, and the good thing about a 360 camera is it records in 360, as the name mentions. The cool thing about Insta360 is that they have a really intuitive app in which you can reframe and crop in post. You can just sit on the couch and then select what kind of shot you want to have. So for instance, if I start mounting the 360 camera on the side of the boat, I can have myself casting in the back. I can have Frans in the tip of the boat. If Frans gets a take, I can get Frans on camera. If I get a take, I can get myself on camera. But also, if the fish takes close to the boat, we can have that shot as well. You can see the fish striking the lure. You can see Frans setting the hook. We can see us netting the fish. You can even record a photo session if you want to. Another cool thing is that it has a tracking option. So the AI in the app allows you to track a subject. It looks like the tracking function of a drone. If you select a subject, and then the AI recognizes the subject, and then it starts following the subject. In post you can let the AI determine the reframing and resizing of the shot, and that makes your life as a content creator or anyone who likes fishing content and likes to put it out on social media so much easier. It saves you a ton of money because you don't need all these kinds of cameras sitting around on the boat or whatever kind of condition you're using it. And it also saves you a lot of time because you don't need to clear out 4 cameras, we just need 1. So today Frans and I am gonna fish with the Insta360. I'm gonna mount it on the side of the boat here. The pike needs to cooperate as well, but hopefully we can catch a couple of fish and get a couple of cool takes. I will show you some shots that we previously did with this camera. A couple of things that are worth noting. The battery life on these things is amazing. You can easily get 1 hour or 1.5 hours of battery life on one single charge. Do note, when you open up the hatch, if you close it down again, you can see the little orange marker coming out. That means it isn't closed sufficiently. The camera is waterproof up to 10 meters and you want to have it properly closed. If you don't close it properly, obviously it's not going to be waterproof and then your camera gets fucked. Now it's closed properly. And another thing you need to pay attention to is when you open it up, there's a little spring. And I myself had it once that I was talking with Frans and I need to switch out the battery. And then I pushed it out and then the battery dropped into the water. You don't want to litter, but you don't want to lose a battery as well. The battery is over 1600 milliamps, so that's quite enough to power this camera 1.5 hours. But if you need to switch, you can get extra batteries and easily replace them. There's no need to power it through an external power source. Much easier to switch out the batteries. the AI automatically recognizes selfie sticks that are underneath it. So if you take one of the selfie sticks that Insta360 provides and you power it on, it automatically recognizes the selfie stick and stitches it out of the image. This is also one way to obtain really cool drone shots. And with drone shots I mean shots that you don't really need a drone, but you do get the feeling you're flying above the boat. We've made a couple of really cool shots where you're driving the boat out like this or out like this, and it looks like someone is filming from above or from the side of the boat. As mentioned before, it's also waterproof, so let's put it to the test.
Now, it is worth noting that we usually shoot our underwater footage with a GoPro, but the main issue that it's hard to tell if you're aiming the lens of the camera in the right direction, which is where the lure is coming from. With a 360 camera, it's much easier to reframe in post and get the right shot. Perfect, right? Well, the ultra wide angle lens seems to have some artifacts underwater, which are kinda hard to bypass. It seemed to occur at a specific area and we haven't really found a workaround yet. If we do, obviously we will let you guys know.
I would advise anyone fishing like this on a boat using a 265GB SD card, because then you can run it up to 7 hours straight and don't need to worry about changing the SD cards in between or just missing a shot because your SD card went completely full.
The Insta360 ONE X2 is also very useful when it comes to creating time-lapse videos. Quick and easy. The app gives you useful instructions how to get the desired time-lapse length, and speaking of the app, it is loaded with tips and tricks and tutorials to get some crazy shots, something we will be playing around with soon. The Insta360 ONE X2 has enabled us to capture moments we normally couldn't have captured on video. Like this figure 8 shot of Jakob when we were fishing in Sweden last spring. On its own, not an easy thing to pull off when fishing for pike, but also capturing it on a regular action camera would have been a hard thing to do without the use of uncomfortable chest mounts. Yeah, POV shots are still great, but a 360 camera on the side of the boat enables you to capture nearly anything that happens during a day out on the lake, whether it's above or below the surface. Recording is done in either 4K or 5.7K, but you lose a bit of quality once you start playing around with the different views or start zooming in. In our opinion, perfectly acceptable for social media, as 90% of the content we put out is viewed on a phone anyway.
That being said, I think we should head out and do some fishing and see if the pike are active and in the spring mode, even though it's January for fuck's sake. So let's head out.
Check out the latest video we did on our first shallow water fishing session of 2022. And again, if you want to support the channel, you can do that in multiple ways. Subscribe if you like what you see, and also if you like what the ONE X2 has to offer, use the link down below in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
This is a heavyweight.
Nice G.
Yeah, baby.
Super nice.